Well, good morning, church. We are growing in the Proverbs, and today we're going to look at Proverbs chapter 6, and we're going to look at its meaning. We've been looking at observations, and now we're going to look at what does it mean? What do these practical tips mean to us? And they are very practical, but let's read it, and then we'll jump into what it means. And as I go to read it, remember that the first 5 verses are don't cosign or don't put yourself out for a loan is the idea, even if there's maybe money that you can get back from it. 6 through 11 is learn to work hard, be a diligent worker, not lazy. And then the last one is 12 through 19 is the warning of a schemer and the warning that goes to the schemer. So don't forget those as we read through here. My son, if you have put up security for your neighbor, have given your pledge for a stranger, if you are snared in the words of your mouth, caught in the words of your mouth, then do this, my son, and save yourself. For you have come into the hand of your neighbor. Go, hasten, and plead urgently with your neighbor. Give your eyes no slumber, and your eyelids Give your eyes no sleep and your eyelids no slumber. Save yourself like a gazelle from the hand of the hunter, like a bird from the hand of the fowler. Go to the ant, O sluggard. Consider her ways and be wise. Without having any chief, officer, or ruler, she prepares her bread in summer and gathers her food in harvest. How long will you lie there, O sluggard? When will you arise from your sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest, and poverty will come upon you like a robber, and want like an armed man. A worthless person, a wicked man, goes about with crooked speech, winks his eyes, signals with his feet, points with his fingers, with perverted heart devises evil, continually sowing discord. Therefore calamity will come upon him suddenly. In a moment he will be broken beyond healing. There are 6 things that the Lord hates, 7 that are an abomination to him: haughty eyes, a lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked plans, feet that make haste to run to evil, a false witness who breathes out lies, and one who sows discord among his brothers. So as we read through that, hopefully that jarred some memory of what we've been looking at for the last few days. But the first thing that strikes you is this is very, very practical knowledge. It doesn't seem at first glance to be spiritual knowledge, right? You're seeking the Lord, you're doing this, but it is. And it is because of the warning, because of the brokenness, and because of the Father teaching the Son. You have all of that. You remember the Father is in this covenant relationship with Yahweh. He's based his life on Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, and he's writing to his Son based on the wisdom that's gathered from that foundation. So seek the Lord with all your heart. Set your mind on him. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength. All of that is foundational to what we're going to look at. But what's that got to do with loaning money to my friend or co-signing on a loan or that kind of a thing? Providence and trusting the Lord is trusting in the circumstances he's put you in. In other words, if you have money that you're willing to give to somebody to invest in a business proposition or that kind of a thing, then he's not speaking about that. What he's speaking about is a friend of yours that is coming up and they have this venture that they want to go on, and they want you to just sign your house and say that if I don't pay this, that then you would take a second on your house, but be assured I will do it. That is bad. If you don't have the money to give to this friend to invest in their business opportunity, don't co-sign and put yourself in a debt that you aren't going to be able to pay. Why not? Because when you do that, you're not trusting the providence of the Lord. You're not trusting what the Lord has given your friend and what he has given you. You don't trust the resources. You're going beyond the resources that you have. And to do that, you're actually telling the Lord, I think I have more than what you gave me. Don't put him to that kind of a test. And then the sluggard, the little sleep, little slumber. Why would you get out of bed and work? Because God gave us work, right? Even in the Garden of Eden, he told man that he was going to work in the garden. So before the fall, there was work. And the work was going to be diligent work. It was going to be satisfying work. It may have been difficult work, but it brings that satisfaction of accomplishment and good. And the sluggard isn't doing that. He's not trusting that the Lord has created him for work. He's thinking the Lord's created me for rest. The Lord's allowing me to sit back and he'll just provide for me because I'm one of his. And that's not true. Work is a gift from God, and the difficulty of work is a gift from God. The hardship in work, the sinfulness and brokenness of work is caused by sin and its consequences. But Adam was supposed to take the garden and take its seed and populate the earth with it as he grew. That was going to be difficult work. He was going to have to take seeds. He was going to take them out into the wilderness, not where Eden was, but in the desert parts, and cultivate and plant. And yes, it would have been easier because the world wouldn't have been working against him, but it still would have been work, and it would have been hard work, good hard work, but hard work. But he wouldn't have had sin and brokenness working against him. And that's what we have. And part of the sinfulness that works against us is our desire not to work. Our desire not to work is sinful because it's not what God intended. And so don't over invest yourself so that you lose what God has given you, and work hard. That is part of what God has given you. And then there's this warning of the schemers, because in the brokenness of the world, you have people trying to steal money, get money, quick money, easy money, other people's money without working hard. And so they've devised all these schemes. They point with their fingers. They have cards that are fixed so that they can know what you're playing when you're playing it. They've got all kinds of things that they're signaling to people so that they can win, that they can take your money. And the warning that goes against those people is drastic. Listen to it for a minute. Therefore, calamity will come upon them suddenly. In a moment, he will be broken beyond healing. The schemer will be broken. Why? Because the Lord hates those things. They are an abomination to him. And so we don't scheme because the Lord hates it. So this is very practical, but it's also very spiritual. You never actually take those two apart. Every practical lesson in Scripture is based on the spiritual reality of God giving to you. And so, church, I would just advise you these things. Don't overextend yourself financially. Be willing to get up and work hard, and be aware of the scheming in the world because of the brokenness in sin. The Lord hates it. Don't get your money that way, and avoid people that are scheming that way. We'll look at it tomorrow and actually apply those things that we just talked about. Have a good day, church.